Not every old house is empty. Some are just waiting to be remembered.
The heavy air of the Minas Gerais countryside was dense on the Lacerda property. For Arthur, his pregnant wife Lucia, and their 7-year-old daughter Clara, the old, time-stained house was meant to be a tranquil refuge. But the silence was deceptive, filled with a subtle hum from the old stone well in the backyard. The well was the heart of the property, but a heart that beat to a sinister rhythm. Lucia felt an inexplicable melancholy cling to the rooms. Clara, however, was strangely drawn to the well. She would sit by its edge, listening. "The well sings sad songs, Daddy," she said one evening. That night, Arthur awoke to whispers. The following nights brought more, creaking doors, moving objects. Lucia swore she saw the silhouette of a long-haired woman in the hallway. The feeling of being watched was constant. Arthur's growing fear led him to research the property's history. A local priest told him the legend of the Woman of the Well. Decades ago, a young woman named Isadora, forbidden to marry the man she loved, had thrown herself into the well. Her body was never found. "They say the earth claimed her," the priest said, crossing himself. "And on full moon nights, her voice can still be heard." The story chilled Arthur. He remembered Clara's sad songs and the whispers. The peace he sought had become a nightmare. The climax arrived on a stormy night. A scream from Clara jolted Arthur and Lucia from their bed. They found her by the window, pointing to the yard. "She wants to come in! The lady from the well wants to come in!" she cried. Arthur looked and his heart froze. Beside the well, a woman stood in the rain. Her black hair was plastered to her face, her white dress soaked and dirty. She had no eyes, only dark, empty sockets that stared directly at him. From her open mouth, no sound came, but Arthur heard her laments in his mind, promising drowning and loneliness. Lucia hugged Clara in terror. Seized by a protective fury, Arthur ran outside, yelling for the apparition to leave them alone. The figure only extended a skeletal hand toward him. Suddenly, the well's heavy lid slid aside with a deafening creak. A chorus of guttural voices rose from the dark hole, the voices of others who had been drawn to their deaths there. Isadora's apparition dissolved into a cloud of earth and leaves, but the voices from the well grew louder, more insistent. Arthur understood. It wasn't just a ghost. It was the well itself, a wound in the earth, hungry for more souls. That night, they abandoned everything. They drove into the storm without looking back, leaving the cursed inheritance behind. Years later, the House of the Well is a local legend. They say you can still hear sad songs and the laments of those the earth claimed. And on full moon nights, the figure of a woman with empty sockets waits by the well, patiently, for new voices to join her chorus of despair.
Not every old house is empty. Some are just waiting to be remembered.